Alright, sorry about that, guys. Had to attend to the phone call. So, um, briefly, this is actually right where we left off. List below all life insurance policies or annuity contracts that you have, or any person proposed for insurance that have terminated within the last 13 months, are now in force, including any that have been assigned or sold, or that are now pending. This includes any life insurance policies and or annuity contracts under a binding or conditional receipt. If none, check the following box. That would be none. We're gonna play around here because I want to show you guys what it looks like when you apply for a policy and you already have one. So, we're not going to click none. Has any person proposed for insurance had or intended to have any life insurance policies or annuity contracts replaced, converted, reduced, reissued, sold, subject to borrowing, or otherwise discontinued because of this application? So immediately there, they ask you, do you have any insurance or annuities? If yes, do you plan on canceling or stop paying for them because of this life insurance policy? In this predicament, we're going to click no. Now, we're going to say that I do have a policy. Let's say I have it with MetLife. Most people don't know their policy numbers. We're just going to put ML12345. Face amount, let's say it's 100,000. We're not going to do this. We're not going to do this. So replaced or converted, no, and no. So here we put non-applicable. Okay. Provide any information necessary and the details of yes answers. Always identify question number and attach a sheet for additional details. It's not particularly important right here. Rider on other proposed insured. This, unless you're putting another person on your policy and you're doing the family plan, which I generally recommend against, even though it is cheaper dollar-wise, it's more costly overall coverage-wise. Okay, so we have Part 1B, page 1 of 1 of life insurance application. Are the persons proposed for insurance citizens of the United States? Would say yes. Other proposed doesn't apply. Has any person proposed for insurance ever used any form of tobacco or any form of nicotine replacement therapy? Now, in this particular situation, I'm going to say no, they're a non-smoker. But if your proposed insured is a smoker, you would have to put their information here. And then form of tobacco, you would say cigarettes. And then number per day, let's say it's a pack. And then date stopped if you stop smoking, because smoking is going to affect your premium. You can lie to the insurance agent all you want. You'll learn later that there's no way to lie or get around it. Section 3. This is the non-medical underwriting. Has any person proposed for insurance? If answered yes, please list details in the comments sections. Had life insurance coverage declined, postponed, or limited, or been denied reinstatement or asked to pay extra premium by any company? I'm going to click no for this purpose, but if there is a yes, or even if you click no and the answer is yes, the insurance company will find out. There's something called the MIB, which is the Medical Information Bureau, and they know all of this information. Engaged in any hazardous sports or activities within the last 3 years, such as sports racing, boat racing, parachuting, hang gliding, rock or mountain climbing, skydiving, skin diving, scuba diving, cliff diving, base jumping, or bungee jumping, or plan on such activity within the next 2 years. If you say yes, this will change your ability to get the life insurance. Have any intention of traveling or living outside the USA or Canada in the next 2 years? Generally, a savvy agent will tell you, unless you purchase the tickets, answer no to this question. I actually had a situation where a client told me no, and then when it came time for his paramed exam, the paramed had came to his house. He wasn't there. I called him. He was in Mexico. Flown as a civilian pilot, student pilot, or crew member within the last 3 years, or planned such activity within the next 2 years. If you want to be having a private plane. Again, this is going to be for people who are going for larger amounts of life insurance, generally $10 million and above. within the last 5 years, been convicted of 2 or more moving violations, or been convicted of driving under the influence of alcohol or drugs, or had a driver's license suspended or revoked. Again, because your character speaks to part of your insurability, and they want to make sure that you are a reasonable person. Been convicted of a felony. Now, again, answering yes to some of these questions may immediately get you declined for a life insurance policy. Been on probation within the last 12 months or are currently on probation. Again, for this purpose, we're going to say no. Has any person proposed for insurance filed for bankruptcy? We're going to say no. What is the purpose of this insurance? I.e., income replacement, mortgage protection, key person, buy-sell agreement. Those are some concepts that I haven't gone over yet. I'll go over them in the future. But simply income replacement, if I die, my family still needs to live. That's income replacement. Mortgage protection, if I die, my family can't afford to pay for this house, but it's going to be paid off. Key person is more for business. Buy-sell is a business reason. So for this one, we're just going to put income continuation. Okay, if applying for $500,000 or more, complete these boxes. So, proposed person for insurance, their total assets, their total liability, their net worth, their earned income, and their unearned income. This has to do with how much life insurance a person can actually apply for. So now we go, that's through finances. Section 7 is your family history. Your family history actually has an effect on you filling out for your life insurance. So, when we talk about people and, you know, we've got the, oh, my baby daddy ain't nothing, or my baby mama ain't nothing, well, guess what? It's still important that you know your family's history. So, please list details below for both proposed insured and other proposed insured if applicable, or if not applicable, check here. So you want to see the age at death of your father, your mother, or your sibling, the proposed insured and the other, and then if deceased, the cause of death. Here I'm just going to click non-applicable right now and assume that everybody's still alive. Part 2. Okay, before we get to the medical underwriting. Does any person proposed for insurance currently have a personal physician? Okay, this is the regular doctor that you go to all the time. Person proposed for insurance. I'm just going to put, oh wow. Person proposed for insurance. Alonzo Hall. That's me. I'm going to put Sony Downstate Medical. 450 Clerks Ave, Brooklyn, New York. Can't remember the phone number, so I'm just going to put 718-123-4567. Date last seen, May 22, 2017. Annual physical. Okay. Now, all these questions are, again, factoring in your price. So the price that the agent gives you right then and there is not the actual price. It may be depending on the way you answer the questions. Has any person proposed for insurance ever been diagnosed or treated as having acquired immune deficiency syndrome, AIDS-related complex by a person in the medical profession? No. If you say yes, they're going to ask why, and generally they're going to decline you. So now we're going into the medical underwriting. 3. Has any person proposed for insurance ever received a treatment for, or B, been advised by a member of the medical profession to seek treatment regarding? And this is another reason why when someone says, well, how much is the average life insurance? I can't tell you, because if you look at all these questions, everything is going to be different for everybody. So let's read all of these. Any disease or abnormal condition of the heart, circulatory system, or blood vessels, including high blood pressure, abnormal heart rhythm, valvular disease, or heart murmur, coronary artery blockage, chest pain, stroke, or mini stroke. I would say yes, because I have high blood pressure. Any disease of the lungs or respiratory system, including tuberculosis, asthma, chronic bronchitis, emphysema, or shortness of breath. I would say no. Any digestive system disease, including ulcer, abdominal or stomach pain, liver or gallbladder disease, hepatitis, cirrhosis, colitis, or other colon or intestinal or rectal disorder. I, again, would say no. Any urinary or reproductive system disease, including protein, blood or sugar in the urine, tumor, cysts, infection or failure of the kidney, tumor or disease of the prostate, testes, breasts, uterus, or ovaries. I again would say no. Any brain, nerve, or mental disorder, including convulsions, epilepsy, headaches, blackouts, tremors, balance disorders, multiple sclerosis, paralysis, dementia, depression, or schizophrenia. I'm going to click no for all of these because I personally know they're no, but I'm going to read over all of them. Any bone or joint disorders, arthritis or rheumatic conditions, including lupus, rheumatoid arthritis, scleroderma, fibromyalgia, or other bodily deformity, amputation, back or spinal disorder. Any disease or disorder of vision or hearing. Any cancer, tumor, blood, bleeding disorders, diabetes, thyroid, gallbladder, glandular, metabolic order, or thyroid. Actually, I would click yes to that because I have diabetes. In the past 10 years, has any person proposed for insurance used alcohol to the degree that they've been advised or required treatment, or to limit or discontinue use as by a medical doctor? I'm going to have to do another video because this is a long process. It's not that long, but through explaining and actually reading everything, and this is what needs to actually happen, it takes some time. But if you'll see, it needs to take time. Just like if someone's working on your car, you want them to meticulously go through every part of that engine so it don't blow up on you while you're driving. It's the same thing you want someone to do when taking into account your financial stability, your situation, and how things may be affected. Because the way you answer these questions has an effect on, let's say, within the next 3 to 5 years, you die. Let's say within the next 2 years after getting the policy, where there's something called the contestability clause, which means that the insurance company can and will go back and look at your insurance policy and make sure that everything you said lines up with everything that goes on in that death certificate and that autopsy after you die, and the report of cause of death. And if anything is lied, they don't have to pay the life insurance proceeds. B. Used unlawful drugs in any form, including cocaine, marijuana, methamphetamines, and hallucinogens, or use prescription drugs other than as prescribed, including sedatives, tranquilizers, or narcotics in any form. Been or are currently a member of AA or NA. In the last 12 months, have you been required, has any in the past 12 months, has any person proposed for insurance required the assistance of another person or device for any kind of bathing, dressing, eating, toileting, getting in and out of a chair or bed, or the management of bowel or bladder problems? Received or been advised to have any of the following types of care: nursing home, assisted living facility, adult daycare facility, home health care facility services, or physical or occupational or speech therapy. Used any of the following: a walker, wheelchair, electric scooter, oxygen, or catheter. Applied for or received, or are you currently receiving, disability, hospital or medical benefits from any insurance company, government employer, or other source other than for maternity. So for all these, I can click no. I'm going to stop this video here and do another one, continuing the application. This is probably going to be a 5-part video, and this is just one application, and this is just the life insurance application. But it goes very in-depth, and I want you to see the reality of the situation so you can actually know what happens here.